welcome to another kitchen gadget testing haul. Our first gadget today is this automatic stirring mug, and I feel like I just said automatic. It's automatic in the style of grease. It's automatic, it's systematic, it's stir-o-matic. It's not grease. It's a self-stirring mug. Let's have a little look at it. I think it could be quite useful. Yeah, hope you're well. As always, please consider before commenting down below that some of these gadgets can help people with certain disadvantages in the kitchen and genuinely help them. Others are complete novelty or a waste of your time. I think today we've got a mix of everything. I've got this in a green one. I think it actually does come in white. This comes off. I think I've got some sort of like cleaning pouch there. Oh wow, I don't really know what that is. It looks like a confused marshmallow. And some prong thing. I think this is just basically to clean it. Taggy thing, and it's simple like that. You can get USB versions of this. In fact, this is not my first self-stirring mug rodeo. Look at this video right here. This was shot in like 1984. I had a self-stirring mug, one of the first kitchen gadgets I ever reviewed. But this, yeah, it's literally a one button use, but we have to power it, and how this one is powered, there is a little slot there for 2 AAA batteries. Right, so just giving this like a fairly careful hand wash because of the battery compartment. Don't want to get that too wet, but what we've just realised is that's the more expensive version.
Yeah, so the beige one was $11.99 and the green one's $16.99.
In my defence, that is actually Mrs. B's favourite colour. I normally give these away, but genuinely I'm going to let her have this. That is if it's any good. So the lid's quite good. You've got a nice little cap there for drinking on the go. And I just want to show you here. I don't know if it's that character. Is it Biomax? Something like that? The actual stirrer just looks like a really reluctant like, ugh. Oh, there's something else. Is it from like, there's a random character from Popeye. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. If I can remember what it is, I'll put it on the screen right now. All right, let's get this going. So the cap comes off here. It's actually quite airtight. I don't really want to be submerging any of this into water, especially with the batteries in. But if you give it, it does say to give it like a quick wash. So that's what we did. That's nice on there. And hopefully, in fact, let's bring you nice and close. Hey, there it is. And it just keeps going until, yeah, you basically tell it not to. That will just keep going forever till the batteries run out. I've got to say, it doesn't sound that powerful. And Suzanne Halls would agree. It doesn't mix well. Wanted it for matcha, but left it lumpy and powdery. I read reviews before buying as well. Well, unfortunately, Suzanne, I think all the other reviews, although there's this video here by Melafan, they are all in Italian. Of course, you can translate them, but they're all free ones from Vine customer reviews of a free product. So you can't really take them. Well, they're not really genuine, are they? So how are we going to test this? Nesquik. Yes, we are going to take 250 millilitres of milk, which is pretty much a quarter of a litre. I know this because I can read it literally on the jug that you can see. We're going to pour that into here. Lovely jubbly. Oh, so it's definitely for one. I mean, you could try making like buttercream in it. I generally don't think it's going to be that powerful. Maybe your gravy as well, salsas, I don't know. But then also 250 ml, the same amount, keep it in the jug. So a heaped spoonful of the powder in there, mixy mix. All right, I've had to mix that quite a lot, and there's still a few little lumps there, but I'm fairly happy with it. I've also got a wet spoon, so I need to dry this, hang on. Yeah, because there ain't nothing worse when you've got like a wet spoon, you dunk it in there. Like Mrs. B sometimes does that with like instant coffee, and it just makes me go, oh, because it all clings to the spoon. But here we go, into our self-stirring tub, cap on. Make sure the lid is, so pastely, isn't it? Look at this. All right, here we go. Hey! It's having a go. It feels very safe, very sturdy, literally hands-free stirring. I love the fact that obviously you probably wouldn't do this, but you could turn it on and walk away and completely forget about it, come out 3 hours later and it's still going. Now this might be a little bit of a bad idea. Let's see, ooh, crikey. I just want to show you what's actually, let's see how aggressive it is. Wow, why is that so cool to look at? Have a look at that. That's like a whirlpool. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Look at that.
That's awesome.
So therapeutic, isn't it?
Oh, look at the bubbles on top.
Yeah. I mean, that's foamy too, but there are traces of powder. So how are we going to test this? Well, we have pretty much proved that it does work quite well. I'm going to just have a little bit of this. Oh wow, that's exceptionally smooth. That's really, really good. But What we are gonna do, and the reason I did the jug, is if we leave this till the end of the video, potentially it might settle. We might get some chocolate sludge. And if that does happen, just show you how with this, if you keep it in the fridge, which we will do, you could just whiz it back up and go again, hopefully sludge free. Right, so I'll put them both in there. We'll check it out at the end of the video. Actually, this is right by a birthday cake. It was Mrs. B's Nan's 91st birthday yesterday. And randomly, about 5 years ago, I did actually get her a self-stirring mug and she absolutely loved it. I don't know if she's chucked it away, but anyhow, next gadget, please. Right behind your ear is our next one, which is a 5-in-1 hot dog slicer, but not just any slicer. I mean, look how pretty that is. It does look like a sort of flowery knuckle duster in a way. I'm getting throwback vibes to the cookie cutter thing from the McDonald's video we did recently. Look at this little knuckle duster of cookies, hey? Look, oh my gosh, they could literally, it fits perfectly. What? Hopefully with this gadget we can make our hot dogs look a little bit more appealing and possibly do something like an octopus like this, or there's a sort of flared end thing with like eyes. I'm not gonna do the eyes. I'm not gonna get a Sharpie out or anything like that. Well, let's have a try. I felt this is a nice little build up before we try some of Snoop Dogg's wine, and that's legit. I do have a couple of bottles for reasons, but let's have some fun here. I feel like these hot dogs, they're normally like smaller for the bento, like a snack box. So we can just, I don't know, we'll slice one in half, see how we go. These have been chilled, so they're a little bit firm. I think that might help it. There's actually, there's a gritty one. So I think we'll do the gritty slot first and just see how it goes. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna fit through? Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh, to be fair, it has done it a little bit. Can you see that? Okay, how about, there's one line. Surely that's our best chance to actually just slice it. Come on. Just, there you go. There you go. Look at this. How far do we go with this? I don't want to completely separate it because that's the whole thing. You want to make these like characters. I've made an alligator. And you know what? I said I wasn't going to get, I want to say like bits of olive or something on proper ones. If that doesn't scream alligator to you now, look at that. I feel like the grid was actually, now I look at that again, that was not too bad actually. Yeah, I'm coming in really close on that. Yeah, you can see it just about. Maybe I'll make them a bit shorter so I've got a little bit of strength. I know it's like 10% meat, but they are quite nice. Okay, so the two iconic ones are there, but there's also here one where you can actually, you push it through and the hot dog should actually spiral. Oh, it is actually moving. It's spinning it as I go around it. Oh no, it's just not wide enough. It's done the slightest scratch down it. Okay, that was a terrible one. However, it's all about the octopus, right? We've got the triple line one here. I don't think this is an octopus technically, but if we push this down, come on. Please, yes. But then, is that gonna make it really weak, the other end? Okay, there we go. We've got the flared end. Okay, we're halfway there. We're living on a, yeah. Oh, it does want to go. Oh, this is so intense. This is just a fun one today. I can't push it anymore. It's gonna break. We've got a little bit through there. All right, pull that out. Oh my gosh, it's not perfect. I've squished the other end, but we have got, there's this thing we're trying to do there. I don't know what, is that supposed to be a spider? Yeah, so I think if I actually cook this up, it might flare a bit more. We've got that really well. Now that we're a bit more known about how aggressive we've got to be, I might try that grid one just a bit more. Come on, mate. It's just, see, it wants to split. This is unbelievable. Oh, see, look at that. Oh, that is a bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna cook our flared one. I'm not going to put eyes on it yet. I'm going to cook that one. Yeah, with that in mind, because I Sharpied our weird sort of crocodile thing, I'm going to do another one that we would do afterwards. Yeah, one is brilliant. Right, come on. This is the one with 6 sections on it, which I think is kind of like the octopus look. Oh, it's so much to squeeze through there. Come on, mate. No, come on. You can do it. Any advice, Hugo?
Just keep going, innit?
Just keep going. I think I'm just put my finger through it in a minute. Oh my gosh. I might be able to pull it through this end. Oh no, it's so delicate. It's so delicate. I feel like I can get a good grip on that now. I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh, look, that's a thing. Let's get these in boiling water immediately so that we can move on to the next gadget, which is far more potentially useful. Okay, so I've got some almost boiling water here. We're going to submerge these in. That gadget might have gone from 0 to hero, you know, and look how much you might be able to see there. The octopus has flared out immediately. About 5 minutes in there, and then we'll do something far more sophisticated. Look, it's rising to the top. It's slightly sinister, but it's kind of brilliant. I like it. All right, folks, just to try something, I've actually put an entire dog in there. there. I say that and Boston just looked over at me very awkwardly, but he has just had a bit of hot dog, so he's all right with me. Because I just want to see if it's easier to shape it once it's cooked. And I don't know if it is, you know, because these will probably get stronger. Oh, that's hot. They'll cool down and get stronger. But look, if it actually held that shape now, it's like kind of like, really hot, but locked in. So let's just let these cool down to the point where they won't dissolve my fingerprints. So here's the cooked one, I've just top and tailed it, and let's just see if it goes through a bit easier. We know that single one is nice and quick, but let's just try. Oh no, it's still really hard to push through. Doesn't want it. Can't understand why it doesn't want to be split into loads of pieces. In fact, now that's even tougher, but it doesn't matter. Let the random shape procession thing with additional Sharpie begin. All right, character number 1, Susie Squid. That kind of nearly fell apart anyway. It has locked it in. It's got some, I mean, give eyes anything, it suddenly looks a little, I mean, it looks very happy, doesn't it, Susie? Character number 2, and I don't even know if I've done this the right way up, Stephen Stump. Yes, it's a tree with a smiley face. Number 3. Adam Atari. Yes, Hugo thinks this looks like the Atari logo, right?
It does, it looks like the Atari logo.
And last one, Oliver Octopus, which is the standout one. Look how well that is, like, rigid and flared. It is not going anywhere. I can't eat these. I don't really want to, but I did the Sharpie quite rushed. You can tell by the eyes not even being very lined up. But there we go. Procession is done. All right, this next one is by Flo Barware, and it is a wine aerator. Aerate your wine in seconds. Now, I don't like to aerate my wine because I don't generally like red wine unless it's spiced and warmed, basically mulled wine. I like mulled wine. I can't stand red wine, even Snoop Dogg's red wine. I saw this in the supermarket. I'm sure he bottled it himself. I thought, well, if there's going to be a red wine that I like, if it's anything like his cookbook, which was incredible, then it might increase my likelihood of enjoying it slightly. On the back it says, wine needs to breathe. Decanting wine and letting it breathe takes time. The Flow Wine Aerator oxygenates wine as it passes through the aerator, enhancing the bouquet, flavour and finish. Again, with wine, white wine, red wine, it all tastes the same. Basically, it came in this really fancy bag like that. Looks like somebody put your sunglasses in. And to test this, I've actually got 2 bottles of wine. Mostly 5-star reviews on this one, although there is a 2-star here. It is very small. Most is made of plastic, but beautiful packaging. So it's like, I absolutely hate it. It's terrible, but it does look nice in the box. And of course, like we said, oh, what the heck is that? It's like a thimble. It looks like a sieve. I think I've just plucked that out of there. Okay, I think that goes back in there. Okay, that goes on there. No, oh, that does actually look quite nice. Is that literally it? Oh no, is this just gonna be some sort of stand for it or something? Whatever it is, it's really oddly shaped and hard to get out. Oh yes, it just sits in there like that. Oh, that's quite nice. I think I've got an electric razor like that stands up like that. Okay, it looks pretty professional. And many would agree, including Michelle, no more hangovers. Although I don't think that's why you aerate wine. Please don't take my word for that. I discovered these things, they really work and they look kind of dinky. I have 2. One I take on holidays as I simply can't drink wine without it now. That's incredible. Now I don't know how many of you guys are red wine drinkers. I don't know in fact how many of you guys actually do aerate your wine when you have it. Perhaps when you go for an evening meal or you're in a rush, has it been aerated before? So many questions. 10% I actually care about. But this actual image on their listing explains it quite well. How this works, wine is poured through the aerator, passing over the air intake holes that create a vacuum which sucks in the air needed to aerate the wine. The air is mixed into the wine as tiny bubbles, aerating your wine in seconds. So every wine has a different aeration time. Some are several hours apparently. I actually got Hugo to Google for me this Snoop Dogg wine, right?
Yeah.
And how long do we leave this for?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. So we're going to do it 3 times. So Snoop Dogg. I don't know why I'm pouring that amount. I'm not going to have anywhere near that amount. 2005 Snoop Dogg. But this one we are going to put on for the 30-minute sticker that's officially branded. We have to leave this to aerate naturally for 30 minutes in its state. The brand new bottle here will try with the Gadget and of course without it, straight pour. But whilst we wait for half an hour, here's another Gadget. Yeah, so let's leave that for half an hour, but generally I might turn into Michelle if this is good, if I like it. Speaking of Michelle, remember Timmy Turtle from the last one? I gave that away to a club member on our last live stream. If you fancy supporting the channel, as well as like clicking on the affiliate links that I sometimes do for these gadgets, you can do that. Or perhaps for longer extended videos and loads of other perks that are on the screen right now, consider joining our revised club on Patreon or YouTube memberships. And I liked this so much, despite giving it away, I had to get my own Timmy Turtle, although I think this one is a bit more broken. It looks more like a sausage bento. All right, so the clock is ticking. Next up by Lakeland are these prep and pour bowls, and they're not really bowls but potentially genius. You get a pack of 4, but 2 of them have this garlic mince, a raised edge on there like that for, well, mincing garlic or ruining your finger. The other 2 have got a section for stripping herbs. This Could be really, really good. All right, lots of positive reviews for this one. I'm gonna put a few on the screen, but I think I'll home in on this one from Mrs. G. Very useful, but 4 stars, not 5. Very pleased with these. They are an excellent idea and work well in practice. Very easy to clean and store too. They could have done with being a little larger for the quantities that I chop, hence 4 stars instead of 5. Well, Mrs. G, you do get 4 in a pack, but generally it's all really positive. So we've got the garlic one here, and let's just like, you know, look, that's really thin there just to show you. It's not raised hardly at all. There's no non-slip feet on it, but you don't really need that. The board, the weight of that should do it. But this is one thing I don't like. You can grind the garlic on there and mince it and all that sort of stuff, but there's so many gadgets that I've reviewed with garlic that, well now my fingers are going to smell like a garlic protest. Nice. But I can't deny it's a garlic mincer. There's many other gadgets they could have put on there that are, you know, slightly nicer, but it does go hand in hand with chopping. Good. Must wash hands. I've got to say, I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but I just went past that wine glass as I was washing my hands there, and there is a distinct aroma all around it. I'm aerating, baby, naturally. What a phrase! I'm aerating, baby! Wow, peak Barry that. I'm just going to grab my blue chopping board here. Now, this isn't perfect because ideally you'd want one with like a 90-degree corner on it, because you want to tuck it in against here, and even actually this chopping board has got the dip on one side, so if you flip it that way, that's a bit better. Tuck that in there. Look, that is actually right on there, and it's hugging the chopping board. The weight of it's holding it down, it's bitting it. That's really, really cool. So we can take a courgette now and, I don't know, just chop it up a little bit. And then we'll just go with that. So a lot of you guys have told me before, never push it with a sharp blade. That's something I've started to do quite a lot. And you can just push it into your bowl, take that away. And actually, if you're cooking for different people, and some people want one ingredient and not the other, or a specific thing, that's actually quite cool. You can have like different bowls. You can have one there and get your other one. And I don't know, say someone doesn't like courgettes. I think that's quite rare. But yeah, you can get another one, chop down, and then, yeah, put it in your bin. I love that. I do like having like just simple things like a bin on your countertop. I use way too many bowls. That's what I tend to do when I prep for videos, but that is genuinely useful. And actually, I'm just going to pass that into there because they have snuck, as I said earlier, a herb stripper gadget in there. Look, like 4 different sizes there. Okay, so in this bowl, I've got a range of herbs. I know I've just talked about the point of me not needing a bowl having these, but I'm going to be giving these away too. And I want to try perhaps with one of the ones that should work quite well. Different size holes there. We'll go down like the 3rd one down. Actually, we'll go quite narrow. Let's pull it. This is, I'm doing it the wrong way. So it's not falling into the bowl. Oh, there we go. Push it through this way. No, I did do it the right way. Oh my gosh. Well, it's definitely worked. Pull it through this way from there. There you go. And look, it's shedding. Well, mostly. Yeah, I'm going to go for the lower hole, actually. That's actually quite... Oh, there we go. And is there one super thin one? Is that... If I pull it this way now, just because there's a couple of cheeky last strands left, that should snap them off. It has! That's really cool! A thyme is a bit trickier. I know there's probably some sort of pun there, but let's just get this right in the small one. Ooh, it's just about doing it. It needs to be, wow. Okay, a few times through it, but it actually does strip it enough so that you've got enough gaps to just do the rest of it like quite easy. That's good. One thing I wanted to try was actually mint. I don't know if this is going to work. I'll just try it. I don't really struggle with mint too much, but like, oh no. That's sort of done half of it. Yeah, just pluck your mint. But for thyme and rosemary and other herbs as well, that would actually work quite well. We've used those before. I really, really like this. I really like these prep bowls as a concept. Remember, you've got 4 of them. That's actually pretty genius. And that has killed enough time by trying this out to go back now and check on that wine. So then, brand new bottle. We take this and pour away. I just want to confirm that's the Gadget making that noise, not my stomach. What? That is making a ridiculous noise. I really like that. So this one, Gadget, it doesn't look any different visually. I mean, it's not carbonated or anything like that. And here is, straight out the bottle, no aeration. Ooh. I couldn't see it too well, but there are a few more bubbles there now. I mean, maybe I'm clutching at straws to look at, but these are the 3 categories, okay? Right, let's have some wine. Should I be able to smell the aeration, do you think, Hugo?
Yeah.
If anything, and this is very, very minor, the one on this end is the strongest scent. And that's all I got there. I've got nothing else to add to that.
Let's do this one first. So there you go.
All right. Oh, I'll tell you what, that might be the nicest red wine I've ever had. Maybe I should just drink it blindfolded or possibly aerated. It tastes flatter or more even and less sort of tart, which I think is what the aeration is supposed to do. I think that is aerated in some way. Now that is a completely different flavour profile. Oh my gosh. That is more intense. That has got that, I don't know if it is a tang is the right way of describing it, but I feel like that one has not been aerated. That's too like overpowering.
The sticky notes have gone everywhere, so we just put them out now. Right, okay, and this is your last one. Here you go.
Ooh. Right, I'm now convinced that middle one was one that I've just poured straight from the bottle. The last two, this last one and the first one, quite similar tasting. I'd say that this one's got a little bit more like it hasn't been, like a bit more intense again. The best one by far was that first one.
Okay.
Okay, can I take this off?
Yeah, so the first one was that one, the middle one.
So the instant pour?
Yes.
I like the one that hasn't been aerated.
Yes.
So I don't like the Gadget.
No.
So that's, if you ever see me and you want to buy me red wine, I must have it immediately out of the wine bottle.
Yes.
That's gorgeous. Tastes like blackcurrant cordial.
So the one with the Gadget was the last one you had.
Okay.
Which is that one over there.
It's really different.
And then that one's just been out in the open for half an hour.
Wow. Right, I think I've just got to be the sort of person that drinks wine immediately, like in a shot glass. Right, next one. Has it got warm in here or is it just me? Honestly, I'm not a big drinker, particularly wine, so I'll do my best to be professional. For this next one, from KitchenCraft, this actually sounds more like a command than a gadget. Stay fresh. Bread keeper. Expandable box with small air vents to allow just enough air to keep your bread fresh. Includes a slicer guide allowing bread to be cut easily, evenly and safely. So it's got feet to stabilise it, but also it's expandable. So depending on the size of your loaf. Now I've had a bit of a problem with the bread, so I'm sure we'll make it work somehow. But it is designed for fresh loaves, so you can got that bit there where you can actually slice it with like guidelines. In fact, I think I've had a tomato slice like that, which I think could actually have doubled up as a hair clip. But yeah, this is potentially pretty cool. Alrighty then, let's get this out. Oh wow. It's a huge transparent vessel, isn't it? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Ugh. For something so bonkers, it does actually come in just 3 simplistic parts. So there's like the bit for slicing your bread. Oh, that can come out. That's good. Stabilizing feet. Not very stable. But this goes into one. Oh my gosh, what a noise. Sorry. That goes into one end. And does that get, okay, so that sits in there like that. Oh, and these bits here twist, so there's actually air vents to let it through, which airflow is important to keep the bread, well, fresh. It doesn't need to be massive. On the Bread Buddy gadget, a lot of people are like, oh, your bread's just gonna go stale in there, but if you remember, there was plugs in here, just like a keyboard. Caps lock. There is actually air vents to keep it fresh, so that's why that was pretty good. It's just ginormous. Well, it is in height, but at least with this one, you've got some serious area there for some bread. But like, there's no sort of lock with it. It's quite expandable. Like, and I love that you can actually like control the airflow in it. That's really good. But other than that, there's no biting. It's just literally that. Mike Jack 76, fantastic, does what it says. A nice, straightforward review, love that. Whereas Tinkerbell, the actual Tinkerbell, getting quite starstruck here. 1 star. The delivery was as promised. It was well packed and the supplier took the trouble to fulfill the order. I know I've paid for it, but thank you so much for fulfilling the order. That is exceptionally kind. You paid them, Tinkerbell. The problem was the product. It was unstable. It did not hold the bread properly and it was not as advertised. I will say the supplier made a full refund without any quibble. Well, Tinkerbell, that's a very honest review, almost too honest. And that is some of my initial thoughts. There is a lot of air allowed through here anyway. You get a little bit of a puff. Whoa. But of course, you've got these bits here to really control that. I don't know, maybe it's gonna be good for slicing bread. We'll start with a massive loaf. Yeah, and actually this is so big that I was like, oh, this might not even fit it, and I don't think it will. And that doesn't matter. I just bought this one because it was one of the longest ones that the supermarket had. And look, that is too big for it. And in fact, before I take this out of the packaging, this looks all right, actually. A standard loaf like that, not big enough for that, but that's where this comes in. Oh, there you go. But we open it up like this. Bread out. Now, I have got a left-handed bread knife. I did do a left-handed kitchen gadget special. And in fact, I can do a follow-up on that. Now, does that hit the bottom fully? Oh yeah, it does. So let's say, for example, oh, we're gonna eat this. Push that back in there. I mean, it's fairly flexible. You can put it in either end. And it goes like that. Oh gosh. And that is it. It's an adjustable bread bin. So in a strange way, it is kind of cool. We'll just do it one more time. I like, actually that's quite good. You've got these handles to pull it apart. A bread accordion. So it's morning. Okay, you've already sliced some of your loaf. You've kept it fresh. You want a little bit more. Take that bit out. Oh gosh. There we go, that's a bit better. Butt it there. Put it in there. There we go. I thought that was useless. I actually think that's okay. Okay, so before we check in on our Nesquik, our last one is kind of novelty, but also potentially kind of useful. This is the handy pop-up brush. It was literally in a hardware store. I just grabbed it. I thought, oh my gosh, that's potentially genius, but it could be missing one thing. Now, actually a genuine story, like for example, I've now got breadcrumbs on the counter, which is why we saved this till the end. Sometimes I'll get a dustpan and brush and sweep down the counter and then obviously wash it with warm water so it's like sterilized, but Mrs. B hates it, apparently. Why can't I use that on the kitchen tops?
We use it on the floor.
And? Well, yeah, to be fair, we do use it on the floor. In fact, today for some hot dog crumbs from Boston. So yes, these are better on the floor, but that is where this comes in. Hello. So basically it's got this sort of larger area there. So you need to push this in to lift that up. The brush pops up and then that's fairly locked in place unless you push it in to retract it back away. So you can literally, it's like a paintbrush for your worktop. You are dusting and cleaning away crumbs. This is actually, I hope it's not just me. Please, at least one of you agree with me here. This is actually kind of useful. Now, the thing that isn't useful is you've got it like this. It should come with the pan, right? The only problem is I either go like this with my hand now and it possibly goes on the floor. Oh, I know, look. This is actually genius because I can tuck it under my work surface. Yeah, put some back on there to give you a reenactment, but look, I can tuck it under there and look. Another use for that gadget. So just a little pan with this would have been brilliant, but that is working really, really well. And then we just retract it away. I like that. So, let's find out how the Nesquik's got on, if it's even settled, if we've got sludge. Because our gadget, of course, should hopefully overcome that. You can see it a little bit there. It is definitely paler at the top and slightly darker, just like here, that's even better. Look, pale at the top, and it works its way down until we get that sludge there. And just to show you, at the top, we have got like a little bit of the powder still. So if I just stir that through, of course, that's going to agitate it again and kind of make it back to the way it was. However, like if you wanted to take this to work with you, for example, I know you do. Let's just take the lid off a moment. Ooh, actually, I've got to be honest, because that mixed it so well. Okay, it's bubbly, but there is not that powdery skin on the top like the other one we just saw. But you have to admit, there is still that slight color gradient. But of course, turn that. Lid back on. That is perfectly mixed. A quite fun thing anyway. You could do it with coffee, tea. I don't know, you could maybe some salad dressing if you really want to do it. A nice fun one. Okay, so worst one today, I'm afraid it has to be that wine aerator. Maybe get hold of it if you want and try it out for yourself, or perhaps if you're really into red wine. Genuinely, that was like completely honest with that Blindfold. It tasted so much better straight out of the glass. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing to encourage you about that. My favorites, I really liked this. I don't want to do a kitchen gadget video and say that a pan brush is basically my favorite thing. So I think I'm gonna go with these corners. They were genuinely awesome. Please consider subscribing if you're not already. In fact, if you've made it this far through the video, you're exactly the sort of person that should subscribe if you aren't, and I'd much appreciate it. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time. Blooper. Just playing catch. Just playing catch. Would you like to play catch with me? Thanks for watching the video. This is gonna end up being a blooper, isn't it? Thanks to the names on the screen that support me on the club. Oh, this is a great start. Thanks. I'm off now, but that was the first scene I did in the video.